Welcome to Tribulation 515, 2011. We have reached day 651, my friends. Today is February 14th, 2013. I want to wish all my viewers a happy Valentine's Day. You know, whatever Valentine, you know, it's a day for the heart. So love somebody today. Out here in San Jose, we've been having a stretch of just some really awesome weather where it's just bright and sunny. So it's another glorious day out here in San Jose. If this is your first time to my blog, this is my personal witness and testimony to the tribulation that is unfolding right in front of my eyes. And if you're watching this blog, that means that your eyes are opened and that you're at least saying, hey, what the hell's going on? And my friends, in 2013, there is just so much going on. So today I'm just going to kind of go down through the news. And we'll talk about a few things. But it's getting crazy. You know, of course, volcano-wise, there are more volcanoes going off around the world. And there's all these articles about super volcanoes under the Pacific, under Yellowstone, under Italy. Earthquakes, man, have been off the chain since 2013 started. You know, I'm telling you, like, we've been having 6.0, 7.0s. You know, in Russia today, they just had it was a 6.6. And, you know, in January, the earthquakes were following like a pattern. It was like a heartbeat. It was like every 6 days there was a 6-point-something earthquake going on. You know, really mysterious stuff. But, you know, the planets, we got all these crazy alignments. And, of course, we got 322 coming up, which is the start of Passover. It's also like the Illuminati secret number for skull and bones. But the reason I bring up 322, my friends, is it's everywhere. And I'll show you, you know, even though it's everywhere. But I'll show you one more spot of where it is, you know, in a second. But today, well, you know, let me show you where that 322 is. You know, today's little slogan is keep on smiling, because I watch Suspicious Observers, his solar report, and I always like looking at anything going on with the sun, because we're always looking at, you know, is there CMEs or filaments blowing off, what kind of radiation's headed our way, because all that has a direct tie between the sun and what's going on here at Earth. Earthquakes and typhoons and crazy weather, ice melting. But anyway, today when Suspicious Observers did his report, the sun has this huge filament coming around the eastern limb, and to me it looked like a smiley face. Here, I'm going to flip my computer around so you can see the image. You know, check this out. See, there's the sun that Suspicious Observers was showing. You know, and this right here is the little smiley face. And like the eyeball right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, like what they do now with these satellites is they have all different cameras. You know, some are for filters and whatnot. So what you're looking at is whatever filter they get on there, but you can clearly see the smiley face in the eyeball. But I'm going to show you another picture of the sun. This one here, and this one here, they kind of map out with the activity on the sunspots. And you may not be able to read this, but you can go to any solar weather report for today, the 14th, and look at the sunspot map, which is what I'm showing you here. But man, look at the numbers of everything, you know, S2228, S2223, which is 322 backwards, S2226. So we got 222s. Here's another one, 2232, which is 322 backwards. Here's one, 2213. Here's one, 22230, which is 322 backwards. So my friends, you gotta ask, you know, like out of all the activity on the sun right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the spots they're marking out all have 222 or 322 on it. You know, is that just by coincidence? I don't think so. But, you know, I'm just telling you, it's not my imagination. It's what the heck is going on. Is everywhere you look is 322. But right there, if you look at the map of the solar activity of the sun today, 6 out of 10 or 8 spots, you know, and even the ones that aren't 222 are kind of like 116, 72, 70, and 71, you know. But it looks to me like a smiley face, you know. So I'm going to just say on Valentine's Day, everybody keep on smiling. But anyway, just getting back to stuff going on. Don't want to make this video too long, but one of the biggest things was Pope Benedict the 16th resigned, stepped down. He's officially gone on the 28th. So now they're going to, you know, select a new pope, and that brings up these end-time prophecies, the Malachi prophecy. You can look it up on the internet, you know. All of it is end-time stuff. You know, the Peter Romanus, the final pope, the Antichrist. You know, you can do your own research on that. You know, I've mentioned it in some videos, but here in San Jose, we got Mount Diablo, the mountain of the devil, and it's been kind of put on me to go to over there, but I haven't yet gone up there. But it's kind of east of San Francisco, you know, in the foothills. But guess what? This year, for the first time, in 2013, the Omgen Professional California Tour of California bicycle race. You know, this is the one that the pros do. Guys like Lance Armstrong and whatnot, even though he's retired in disgrace. But that professional bicycle race has been coming through California for like the last 10, 15 years. It's huge. Thousands of people get out there to watch the bikers. But this year, for the first time, they're going to end the tour on Mount Diablo with an 11-mile leg up the mountain. So thousands upon thousands of people are going to be on Mount Diablo, and that's on May 18th, you know, and that date's another date that's kind of starting to manifest right in front of our eyes. You know, we saw our beloved president, Barack Obama, God bless him, gave the State of the Union. I didn't really bother watching it because it's so full of distortion, man. Like, there's just no point in really listening to none of it. You know, financially, the world is still teeter-tottering. The United States hasn't gotten any of its fiscal house in order. You know, Russia just bought a bunch of gold, you know, and they're buying gold because when the dollar disappears, you know, gold is going to be the stabilizing currency, and actually just resources, you know, like oil, energy, whatever. And, you know, on the stock market, it went above 14,000, and then it dropped down, and it's just been hovering at 13,999 or 66 or whatever. And, you know, the collapse is coming, you know, where all of a sudden it's going to be worth just 1,300, you know, and, you know, here's a fact, I mentioned it, we're going from the year of the dragon to the year of the snake, and the year of the snake, you know, that's like when 2001, when the Twin Towers fell, that's 1929, when the stock market collapsed, and that's this year, when the stock market's going to collapse, and there's been all these articles that the billionaires out there, guys like Warren Buffett and George Soros, they've been dumping all their U.S. stocks. You know, so what's been happening is our own government has been pumping fake money into the stock market to keep it artificially inflated like a balloon while all the ultra-rich get out. And then when it pops, it's just guys like me and you. They're stupid enough to have their money in the stock market. But your 401ks and all that kind of stuff, kiss them goodbye, my friends. But, you know, the Mount Diablo thing's kind of huge because I think now I'm going to end up going up Mount Diablo, and I'll probably be there on the 18th. It's hard to say. North Korea. You know, all the earthquakes, there was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake in North Korea, but everybody quickly figured out it was them blowing off a nuclear missile underground. So North Korea and South Korea, you know, they're kind of rattling sabers. South Korea says that they could blow them up. You know, in Syria, things aren't going good. The rebels, you know, which is the Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda, whoever, you know, they've pretty much taken over all the dams, so they control the flow of water of the Euphrates. And I think the rebels are winning. You know, they're shooting down the government airplanes now. You know, in the movies, you know, all the movies coming out this year, like Oblivion with Tom Cruise, Star Trek is The Darkness, there's Z-Wars, which is the Zombie Wars, but they're all apocalyptic. someone coming, aliens landing, you know, attacking. And then, of course, there's the movie that's being released, Jack the Giant Killer, you know, and that's kind of end-time, apocalyptic, Nephilim type stuff, you know. And, you know, the final thing I'm going to kind of mention is tomorrow, the asteroid comes flying through, asteroid 2012 DA14, and, you know, it's not going to hit the Earth, but they're saying it could knock out some satellites, you know, GPS, phone, whatever, which would not be good. Oh, and the final note, yeah, I almost forgot to mention it. I don't know about you, but before we got to the presidential State of the Union, you know, I was watching live on TV the police hunting down this guy, Christopher Jordan Dorner, 33 years old. You know, his name, Dorner, has the word drone in it, and rumor had it that they were using a drone because they thought he was hiking around in the mountains, so they were using the heat sensor on the drones to try and pick him up. But it turned out he was holed up in a cabin, and the minute they showed the cabin on TV, I thought, yeah, they'll just burn it to the ground, and lo and behold, boom, they burned it to the ground. But the good news is the San Bernardino sheriff came out after it was all said and done, and he said, I just want to, you know, affirm to everybody out there that we did not burn that cabin to the ground on purpose. You know, what they did is they threw some smoke bombs into the place, which are incendiary devices, and then they sat back and they watched to see what was going to happen, you know. But I tell you, my friends, you know, when you throw like a smoke bomb incendiary device inside of a house, what happens is it burns to the ground. But I guess the police, they're still studying all that, you know, so maybe one day they'll add that to the manual, you know, where the FBI and the ATF and the police manual where it says, you got somebody surrounded, you know, once you've cleared out the media, the press, and any kind of witnesses, proceed to inject smoke bombs, incendiary devices into wherever it is they're holed up in, and then see what happens, you know. But, you know, I'm not, you know, Dorner, you know, sounds like he was really screwed up in the head. You know, I think he was walking in darkness. His manifesto clearly showed that. But here in America, you know, there's a theory that no matter who you are or what you've done, you get arrested and go through a process called justice where you get a lawyer and a trial, whereas, you know, this guy, he didn't get none of that, you know, but maybe he brought it all on himself, you know, at least according to the sheriff, you know. They didn't burn that cabin to the ground on purpose. So God bless law enforcement. We need to pray for these guys all the time, that they do the right things, okay? So my friends, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of go through the news, the big news stories that were out there. But we got all sorts of crazy stuff happening, man. And it's happening at an ever-increasing rate. So, you know, if you're living in a bubbleized existence, a hedged-in life where everything's good for you, then God bless you, man. But don't be surprised if all of a sudden one day, you know, your door gets ripped away and it's a dark storm, a tornado, a blizzard, or whatever, you know, because that's what's hitting a lot of people, you know. And I'm in San Jose, I swear to God, you know, I'm kind of in a bubbleized existence because not only is the weather awesome here, but for years and years and years and years and years, Silicon Valley, you know, has been kind of insulated. It was like, you know, the land of Oz, you know, and that movie's coming out too, Oz, you know, and that's got some end time implications, you know, the magical land at the end of the rainbow. But, you know, Silicon Valley was kind of like that, you know, because there were jobs and people got along. But, you know, nowadays it's more of a distortion because even though the stock market's up and, you know, they say that less people are filing for foreclosures and that the unemployment rate is dipping, all those numbers are just completely fake, or they're not, like, real, you know, like, less people filing for foreclosures, you know, there's still just, there's nobody buying houses, you know, like 2 and 2 is not adding up to equal 4 anymore. It's equaling like 5 or 3 or 6, you know, and people just don't seem to be able to see through the veil, you know. So on this VEILinTone's Day, you know, hopefully you're tuned in, VEILinTONE, to reality and the truth. All right. Keep on smiling, my friends. The sun has a smiley face. The tribulation continues. You know, love somebody today. Walk in love. All right. God bless everybody.